financial columnist Taha Arvas. Taha, great to see you. Clearly, this has implications economically on a macro and a micro level. Give us the macro outlook here and what this means for Turkey in the next few years.
Well, the first step in this discovery, the first issue here is the president said it could be one of many. And so that's very important. The reserves that we're talking about now are major. We're talking about nearly $1 trillion in natural gas reserves at current prices. And going forward, if there are other reserves found, Turkey can go after those aggressively. And I think the one thing that we may have missed so far is that, yes, natural gas prices are down globally, and some of these reserves may not have been sustainable to recover had it not been for recent developments in Turkey's exploration. These ships, these vessels we're talking about, were all bought by Turkey, so they're not leased. And this is something that Alparslan Bayraktar, the Vice Minister of Energy, spearheaded. And furthermore, the cost structure of going after these reserves is very much in Turkey much less than what foreign competitors are doing. So we talked about Eni earlier in Egypt and other places. This is a business victory, frankly, just an ability to extract these reserves at far less of a cost to make it profitable. So that's both the macro and micro. I kind of jumped into the micro there as well. But overall, it's good news.
I want to ask you how it's literally going to affect people's daily lives in terms of the social development that might be possible given how much money Turkey will be saving by not buying imported energy sources. What about, first of all, stay with me on just the development of the project itself. From what you know about the way Turkey has been approaching these sorts of projects over the past 10 years or so, what's the balance going to be here between public and private sector? How huge is the project? I mean, for example, will they have to build new pipelines, or is this kind of natural gas going to come in those shipping containers that you see all around the world with the bubbles, which has the LNG, the natural gas in it?
Right.
How is this going to work?
So I'll start with your first question. How will this affect people's lives, daily lives going forward? The answer is the Turkish president's vision for how it's going to go forward, and that it will start commercially extracting this natural gas in less than 3 years, frankly, is a very aggressive target. Hopefully it can be achieved. We know that this is a par for the course in Turkey, very aggressive targets, and speeding up these type of issues. So it's potentially possible. So if that happens, and if this target is met, then Turkey will see will quickly see a decrease in imports, obviously, of natural gas. And if that happens, we're talking about a lower balance of payments deficit. We're talking about decreases in natural gas prices. We're talking about an appreciation. I mean, of the Turkish currency. I mean, if you look at Canada, after their exploration and their discovery of tar sands in Alberta, we saw a major appreciation of the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar. So all of these things will affect the bottom line, the pocketbooks of the average citizen walking the streets in Turkey within the next few years.
Right. So the other issue was, how big a project is this? I mean, what's your understanding about something like this? I mean, there's a relative distance for the natural gas to travel, of course, and then the drilling has to be done. It has to be extracted. It has to be brought to Turkey. How might that proceed?
That's a great question. It is a very huge undertaking. And one thing that I think is very important to note here, the Turkish Petroleum is under new leadership in the last 3 years. Melihan Bilgin has taken over, and they've done a lot of aggressive human resources transfers. So I don't know the answer to the question how exactly they will transfer it from under the sea via like those ships you talked about, or pipeline. It's so close, it could be both, whatever is most cost effective, frankly. But it will be a very large undertaking, and this will be a new industry in Turkey that will probably burgeon new jobs and help decrease unemployment and other industries that are adjacent to this industry. So in general, it's a win in many respects, including unemployment.
Taha, always a pleasure to have your analysis on TRT World. Thanks so much. Taha Arvas speaking to us from New York.